This is the Lyndsay Stafford Show.
All right, welcome back to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. I am so passionate about entrepreneurship, helping entrepreneurs to be successful, and I'm really excited today. I have got my friend Megan Jernigan here. She owns the Jernigan Group, which is a phenomenal real estate group located right here in Williamson County, specializing in Williamson County. I've had the privilege and honor of working with Megan for a while now. She is a proud sponsor of the Neighbors of Franklin magazine and the College Grove Neighbors. She has our exclusive real estate spot there, sponsors the real estate stats every month. And through that partnership, I've had the honor and privilege of meeting and working with her entire team. And so I'm really excited for what we're going to share today. Megan is the true epitome of a successful entrepreneur that not only balances her career, but also a family. She's a wife. She has 2 children. She has a very large team. And she's really unique in a lot of ways. But one of the things we're going to talk about is how she's been able to scale her business and develop a big team in real estate, which is not an easy thing to do. So Megan, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited to have you.
Yeah.
I know. And she's always, I know if you guys are listening to this, you can't see her, but she always has the cutest outfits. And I like saw her on the way in, was like, I love the vest. It's so cute.
We all shop-a-thon all the time.
I love it.
Shop-a-thon.
Yeah, shop-a-thon. I love that. So Megan, tell us a little bit about you and your family, your history.
Yes. So I'm from Middle Tennessee. So I'm from Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And I went to school in Knoxville.
Where'd you go?
20 years ago, University of Tennessee.
Okay.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.
And started in kind of the corporate world when I got out, wanted to be like head honcho, CEO of something, right? So worked at TVA for a little bit, worked at Children's Hospital for a little bit. And then I was like, I think I can own something and do things my way instead of having to constantly ask for permission to like be more efficient or do things a better way or save money or just do something like that. And so I was going to do farm sales. That was like the big thing in 2010.
Oh, farm, like pharmaceutical?
Like pharma.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Pharma,
if I had a dollar,
sales.
Everyone always says that you should do pharma sales.
Every girl, right? Yeah. Every girl's like, you go do farm sales for Lily or, whatever, Jupiter. So that just wasn't setting for me. And so I was in like a leadership course at the chamber and there was this realtor who was like, you have to get into real estate. And I was like, it's just so stressful. Like to be all on your own. You don't have a guaranteed anything. It was just me. I wasn't married. I had no, my parents were like, have a good day. Here's your things. Goodbye. Don't call us. I'm kidding. We love you, Mom and Dad. But got into real estate and then it, just kind of figured it out. So met my husband, had 2 beautiful babies.
And they're how old?
Starting in COVID, 3 and 5.
Okay.
So had my first baby in
little,
COVID.
the best fun ages.
They're the cutest things and the hardest things I do every
yes.
single day. As my daughter this morning was like losing her brain over like what she wanted for breakfast, like head on the table, sobbing over breakfast. Me and my husband were like, okay, we can do this. Like this is
You're like, this
fine.
is not a crisis. Someday this will be the easiest decision you make all day long.
This is it. Or you're just not going to make this decision. Move on. Have a coffee. So started real estate. I was on a team for a little bit. Maybe a year and a half. And then again, I think my desire to just do things in a really specific manner and spend money on X instead of Y or have this kind of leadership and collaboration. I went off on my own, hired my first assistant, which is now, she's my director of operations now. She's been with me for almost 10 years. She's amazing.
She is amazing.
And so we've just kind of stepped up from there. And so 11 years later.
So 11 years, 2 babies. You got married in that time too. How long have you been married?
10 years next year.
I mean, that's a huge accomplishment also.
Wild? Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I know we're going to celebrate 20 years in May.
Great. It's such like when you're young, when you're not married, you're like, okay, whatever. But then when you're married, you're like, oh my God, can I celebrate that with you? Like that's huge.
It really is, right?
Because you move into such different people.
Yes.
And
you know what we don't talk about a lot on this show? I haven't had the opportunity to talk about it a lot, but like a powerhouse woman married, that's like a whole thing, right? Like your husband has to be like a really special person to tolerate. Cause I feel like I'm the same way. Like I want to do it my way. I want to be the CEO.
Yeah.
And I've always been that way. And so the dynamics there have to be really, really ironed out.
Yes. And you got to figure it out, whether that's professionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just a lot of sit down, honest conversations, which we've done both.
Both. It has to be all of it, right?
Yes,
and that like open, transparent, like they have to be a man has to be really comfortable with himself to be like, yes, my wife is a total badass. And I don't normally swear on this podcast, but I am because I don't really think that's a swear. I think badass
That's
is
not
like,
it.
right?
Megan
That's
Kelly
not-
said the F word last week. Like, you're good.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
perfect.
fine.
Excellent. But I think that's such a true thing. Like, you guys have to have this amazing dynamic in order for you to be the best that you can be,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So talk about the journey. I want to hear about when you went from working for somebody else to saying, I'm going to go out on my own and taking the risk of hiring the first person, because it's a step that a lot of people don't want to take.
Yes. And it is scary. I get it, because you're in charge of people's livelihood
Yes.
at that point, right? And you're taking out of your own bank account. Like, I think that that's what, like, you own your own company. People are probably like, oh, your people get paid out of this account. You're like, no, that's my account.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'm the one who's on
Or
that.
there's like a misconception that like Compass, which is my brokerage,
Yeah.
you legally have to have a brokerage, that Compass pays for the company and pays for staff and pays for all this. And I'm like, oh no, that's my family's bank account.
Yeah.
Instead of sending my children to private school,
Yeah.
I choose to do this, or instead of, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's the big misconception. I always knew Tabitha. She and I had done this leadership course together.
Okay.
And so I always had known her.
What was
And
she doing
so
when she was doing that course? What was she?
She was the executive assistant to the CEO of the Red Cross.
Okay.
So she's always had these like really high level, she's done HR. She's had all these really interesting roles in her life that I think she's culmination of everything. She's just a really great like boss, leader, friend. You know, she pulls me back when I'm pushing forward. And I think that we complement each other so well. And so when I was thinking about going on my own, it like wasn't an option to not have her with me. And so I just said, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure out how to pay
So was she
you.
working for somebody else at the time? And
She
you
was
were
working
like,
for my old team.
and
she was
okay,
she was our head assistant.
got it. And you were like, you're coming with me. It's like the Jerry Maguire. Who's coming with me?
Who's coming with? She was the only one I wanted.
Actually, only you.
Let's go for drinks, just you.
Yeah.
But I just told her I would figure it out. Like, I was like, and every month I did. Like, every month I paid her before I paid me. There's several months that my staff gets paid that I don't get paid, right? That my family doesn't get paid. Like, you just figure it out.
Yeah.
There's other agents that like they've set aside a whole year of a salary to give them the confidence to hire that first hire, to be like, okay, if I make none, that at least I can pull from this bucket. But I just always said, I'm just going to figure it out, and failure is just not an option, you know?
And when your back is up against a wall like that, you do just figure it out. I think you're faced with these decisions and you just kind of go, whatever it takes, I'm just going to make it work. And so I know I have confidence in myself. What gave you, because I feel the same way. I approach it the same way. Like, my husband's question will be, how is that going to work? And I'm like, it just is. Like, just, I'm going to figure it out. Just like, let me do it.
Yeah.
And he's 20 years, he's fine now. Yeah. Still asks the question, how's that going to work? Yeah. I'm like, I don't have all the answers yet, but I will figure it out.
We have to step forward.
So what do you think, this is a really like deep question too.
Okay.
Like, what do you think gave you the confidence to be like, I know I can figure it out? Like, have you thought about it?
I think it is just that failure is never in my brain of not, I will do whatever I have to do to just figure it out. So I will work 7 days a week. I will work 8 days a week. I will outwork anybody out there. And I think that there's something to that too, where, I know we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, but I think there is a mindset of like, if I can't figure it out from 9 to 5, then I can't figure it out.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you have to be the one that's like, I'm going to get up at 7 because those are the quiet hours. And I've got to work Saturday and Sunday because Sundays are open house days, and open houses might be 2 hours to the public, but they're 6 hours to us because there's marketing, there's getting ready, there's signs, there's cleanup, there's setup, there's all these things, right? And so I think I'll outwork anyone. Yeah. And if I tell you I'm going to get it done, I will. And if I give you a time frame, I will. And so you just, even if it's 11 p.m., I will get you what I owe you.
And you've built the confidence because you've proven to yourself that you will figure it out, right? And I think you talked about like this 9 to 5 mentality, and I'm not going to throw out judgments of any individual or any demographic, meaning like age group. But I do think, I feel like I'm 43. So I think I'm older than you, but I'm a little bit old school in that, like, I worked in retail and I just hired someone and didn't work out with this person. And as I'm looking at, I need somebody that understands the drive of like, you just have to get it done. Yeah. And whatever it takes to do it, you'll do it. And that means, I remember nights in retail where my best friend at the time who introduced me to my husband, she was the visual merchant. And so we would be flipping the store and have, visit the next day, like all the executives, big companies, right? And I'd be like, well, I'll stay with you. Like we were there till 3 a.m. and back at 7.
Yeah.
Because you just do what it takes, right? And I think that old school work ethic is not as common these days to find. And so you do end up being by default more successful because you're willing to do more than most people will do, right?
Right.
And the other cool thing, and I want to kind of transition into talking about scaling your business because you've been extremely successful and continue to be very successful in a very, very hot market, right? Williamson County, Middle Tennessee, Williamson County specifically is where you're located. I know you do work outside of Williamson County, but primarily it's a very hot market here. And one of the fastest growing markets in the country. It's the wealthiest county in the country, in the state, and the 7th wealthiest county in the nation, right? And you've built a very successful business here. You've also attracted a team that is very strong in work ethic and execution. Talk about that. How you decided to build that team. What do you look for in people? Right. And as you made that jump of hiring additional people, you've hired additional people to your team since we've been working together.
Right. Yeah.
And you just continue to grow. So I want you to talk to listeners about the mentality that you have of scaling.
Whew.
It's a lot. It's like
a
loaded
unpack.
question there.
I think as women, we will take it on until it crushes us.
Pull your mic.
And someone like makes us scale. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we'll take it on until, until we have a friend or a family member that's like, you don't have to bear all of that. Like who can we hire? Who can we do?
Yes.
And so for a long time, it was just me and my director of ops. And I would be on the road and she would be drafting contract, like whatever she was doing. But to me, I was like, that's an additional 2,000 hours a year of work that I don't either A, have time for, or B, like that's how we kind of grew so quickly. And then you just kind of look and say, okay, what else is exhausting me? And then what else isn't, like, what am I good at? And then what am I not that great at? And then you just kind of build around that, right? And so like, I love strategy. I love going to get new clients. I love the outreach aspect of it. I love data. I love teaching. I love coaching. And I do love the real estate aspect of it, but I love it on a level of let's put a really amazing strategy together to sell your home or to find you an off market or something like that, and less of let's drive to all of these homes and physically look and see how many air conditioning units it has. That is absolutely something I think other people have a passion for. And I love that for them. So for us, I think because I came from the corporate world, my assistant came from the corporate world, we're very process driven. So like, Abby, probably 25 processes, right? Like all written down, like before you get a client, when you, like from the time you get a call to the time you close that client, we have your process written down as to what happens. So every client gets treated the same, whether they work with me, they work with one of my other 4 agents, exactly the same, right? Yeah. And so because we have those processes, I think it's really easy to recruit, but also like you don't have to know everything when you come in, but I want you to want to learn. And then you also do have to have this kind of hustle culture mentality. Like you're not going to get to go to the pool with your girlfriends every Saturday, right? And if that's your expectation, then this isn't the job for you, right? Not for a long time. And I want you to do that. It's not that I think that you should live, breathe, work, but there's a lot of 9-to-5s out there that I think a lot of people can really fit into. You also have to be really flexible and always using your mind and always using your brain because it is a tougher market. Right now it has been. And so, sellers are like, okay, tell me what you're doing to sell. And then buyers are like, okay, there's, I want $100,000 off of that house. And you're like, oh, okay, let's dive into that.
Let's see how we can do that.
Let's do that. Absolutely. So we'll back into that. So that's kind of how we've hired, is saying, Tabitha and I did everything from day one. And then eventually Tabitha couldn't do as much. Like she needed to handle other stuff. So then we hired our marketing, and then more got put on marketing. And it was like, well, that's not a good use of your time. So then we hire interns and we hire assistants and things like that. And then same for me on the kind of service side of things is like, okay, I can't be out I can't close 120 houses a year by myself. That's not, no one's getting a good service at that point, and no one's getting good advisement. And so just added on agents. And I look for their specialties too. Like some of them are really good at data. You're probably going to be on the sales side. Some of them are really personable and can talk to anybody. You're probably going to be with the buyers then. So you kind of look for these different personalities and how they fit into the overall mold.
Skills and personalities, work ethic. I love everything you said. I'm like, it makes me so excited to hear business owners that understand scaling, right? It's amazing how many businesses don't have processes, SOPs in place for everything that they do. And that holds them back from scaling because they can't repeat anything effectively, right? So when you can say, I know my buyer is going to get this experience, here's the tools and the processes we have in place for that, then that removes you from having to be the one to do it or even teach it because there's a process for it. So that is one thing that we help businesses do in what we do in our consulting world is put those processes in place. It's so important. And that when you think about where you've been able to go with one person and then building this business by saying, I'm going to not do the things I'm not good at and not do the things that I don't enjoy the most. It doesn't mean I can't do them. I've done them all, but it means I've learned where my strengths are. That's a strength as a business owner. And a lot of business owners don't have that strength. They think they have to do it all. Or I'm not going to pay someone to do something I can do. That is the wrong way to think. It's like, I'm going to pay someone so that I can get my time back. Is how you have to think to scale. Have you read the book Who Not How?
No, but it's next on my list.
Okay, you've got to read it. Do the audio version. Okay. I talk about it all the time. Yes.
Never owned a book.
But it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Audiobooks. You're in the car all the time. So audiobooks. So when we think about how you've been able to coach and develop your team, what's next for your group? You guys are continuing to grow. Do you have a plan for what's next, who your next hire is?
So the next hire is probably going to be admin side, as my lovely marketing coordinator is sitting in here too. So she's awesome. Probably on the admin side. You just can't have enough like support and boots on the ground. But again, to hire that position and hire that right person is strategic and tough and takes time, you know, especially in a small business, because everybody wants to work for like a large corporation or a large company. And, you know,
It's not what you are.
It's not. And we have an office, but it's not, you know, it's not this super fancy office. And
I think your office is beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It is. But
I enjoy my lunches there.
Yeah. We love our conference rooms. We kind of turn the conference room into our office, honestly. So it, you know, it just takes a special, and it's never what you think it is because people watch Selling Sunset or they watch, you know, all these real estate shows and they think it's like this glamorous, you're just going around to houses like filming all day. And I'm like, oh, that's 1%. Like this is the dirt. Like welcome to the mud pit. You know,
you don't see
like
all the other
you
stuff.
don't see. You know, this is the sausage being made, and it's just never what they. You know what it looks like on TV. So
this is the sausage.
Yes. But I've got 4 great agents. But I also try to overhire. Instead of underhire. I've been in a position before as a business owner earlier in my career where I wanted everyone to have this abundance. And I would kind of let them dictate to me, like, you guys tell me when you're overloaded, like you guys tell me when it's too much. And they'd be like, we're never overloaded. Because
they're giving it to me.
Yeah, they're all commission. And so they never want to say, yes, bring on somebody else. And that's, I think, as a business owner, having like-minded people that understand if you bring someone else in, they're not taking a piece of the same size pie. The pie gets bigger for everyone. And then, when they take a slice, it's not eating into yours. The pie is bigger and there's more pie to share.
I love that analogy.
And so having people that understand that and see that the pie gets bigger, the more we have and the more support we have and the more strategy and the more time and the, you know, like just
more resources,
the more resources that we have, it like that's important. And you just can't teach that mentality.
No.
That's the hardest part.
And sometimes it is. People get like, oh, I don't want to give this up. You're going to bring somebody else on that's going to take away from me. And it's like, no, that's a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
We need to live in the mindset of abundance. Now, I want to shift gears a little bit, Megan, because we talk about hiring when our plate gets too full. Like I always like to say, like, right now my plate is as full as I like it. And so if I start to feel like it's too much, then I've got to hire somebody to help take some of that off. Right. Or if I'm feeling like my expectations are not being met, I need to hire somebody else because my team is probably feeling overwhelmed and that's why it's not working. Once you know you have good people, right?
Yes.
But as a wife and a mom, it's a really unique and special place to be where you're building a business, continuing to build a successful business and balancing all of that. So, and I know the balancing is like perfectly imperfect I'm doing it myself too, right? Like we pushed back the time today because I wanted to be at the pep rally for Paige that I didn't find out I could be at until Monday or Sunday of this last week. But that's what we're always doing as moms in a business, putting our families first. How do you juggle it all?
What's that like Instagram? It's like, I don't, or, like
I do not.
The Jennifer Hudson. I think the same way we all do. And I think we talked about this a little bit before the podcast too, like choosing the right spouse, having your spouse on board for that, having coworkers and colleagues that are on board for that too. And like being, I think just communicating, right? And I call it like a recalibration. And I'm like, okay, sometimes there's like a recalibration needed with like the admin side of my team or the agent side of my team. Or like, hey, I'm carrying a little bit more of this than I care to carry. Is there something going on?
Yes.
That I can help you with so that you can pick up that extra bag that, that I expect you to hold.
Yeah.
And then same with my husband, right? Like, cause I think as women, it's just the way God made us. Right. And it's just the way God made them. And no one's doing anything wrong by design or intentionally or maliciously. Not in my marriage anyway. I'm not saying there aren't some marriages out there like that.
Right.
But in mine, I just call it like a recalibration. I'm like, there's just time for recalibration. Like I feel like I'm carrying a lot. How can we, like, how do you feel? And he might be like, I feel like I'm carrying a lot. Okay. I'm like, okay, let's write things down.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Because if everybody feels overwhelmed, then to your point, I hire people out in my life just like I do my job too. It's like, I will send the laundry out. I have not been to the grocery store in years. Like
I don't go to the grocery either. Instacart only.
Yes. And I ran to Fresh Market yesterday for a chicken and a water. Like that was it. And then I ran right back out and went right back to work, And so like I'll hire out in life too. So it's like, okay, if we're overwhelmed in life, I have the same mentality of like, okay, who can we bring in and who can we hire? And so
I was joking with my husband. We were visiting some friends in Maine, his childhood friends. They're both bachelors.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And Dave was saying, I haven't cut the lawn. I don't know when the last time. And started talking, well, no, we have someone that does the pool. And Lyndsay just hires people to do everything. And I'm like, that's why we're still married, because I don't ask you to do anything. I just hire someone to do it all, because he's got a full plate too, right? We all have a full plate. So it's not really fair to push those expectations. Not at all. No. It's just, I also don't want to spend our time that we have together only working on stuff, right? And so my mentality is and it's the same as you. And I wish that we could help more business owners. And that's one of my goals of this, is to help more business owners understand that concept. If you can pay someone less than you're worth an hour in your job to do something, and that frees you up to either do work that you love, that you can make money in, or do something you love, then you should hire someone to do that. You should. Right? Yeah. And so I think that's one of the secrets when I ask you, like, how do you do it all? And you're like, I don't, right? I'm like, I don't. But we don't. Like you hire people to do the things that aren't the things that only you can do. Right. Which is like customer facing or children and husband facing.
Yes. Yeah. Cause like my protected time with my family is my protected time. Like to me, money isn't to like have a fancy car or have a fancy house. It's like to buy my time back and to buy my freedom. Cause I grew up with a working mom. I grew up with a working dad. I got picked up at 6:05 every day. I have the best parents, by the way. Like that is not a neglect. I got picked up at 6:05, and then we went home, we had dinner and we went to bed. Yep. And so I feel like there was so much time missed because of that. And you just like, once you have these little babies and you're like, you see how quickly they grow up and you're like, oh, I can't miss all of that. But it's also not fair for me my husband also has a full-time job. Right. It's not like he's a stay-at-home dad, and that's and most husbands are not I know a very small population of men that are stay-at-home dads, but it's not fair for me to be like, okay, all of this is on you because I'm handling this company and now all this is on you.
But you also probably wouldn't be fulfilled if it were the other way around and you didn't have your business and you were just being a mom, right?
No.
I wouldn't. I never had that mentality.
My brain doesn't stop.
Yeah. I would not be good. I was like, if I didn't have that outlet of.
But sometimes I dream.
That's for me.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, but like, what would I do?
Yeah, but then if you do it for a week, you're like,
then
okay, I'm ready to go back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On vacation, I always think I'm going to I'm going to be so relaxed. And I'm like, okay, I can only sit, drink, and eat so much. And then I'm ready to get back into my routine.
I went to Canada last Friday, Saturday, Sunday to see Morgan Wallen. And I got back. I flew back all day Monday. And then Tuesday, I was like calling everybody. I was like, what are you doing? What have you been up to? Like, I missed y'all. Like, what's happening? Like, I just felt like I was like missing my people. I was like, I don't even care. They're like, oh, well, this is what's going on with work. I was like, I don't care. Like, how's your life? Like, how are your kids? I just wanted to know. It's just kind of
it's your community.
It's your people. Yeah. Right? It's your people.
Do you have a lot of time that you spend with friends? Because I think we develop as women this work family. Like you have Tabitha and then you have the rest of your team. And I have Carrie, my assistant, who's been with me for 7 years. And she's like one of my best friends. Like
Yeah.
I talk to her all day, every day through text or voice memo or calls or whatever. And then I love my team. Like I love my team.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time with friends socializing outside of work, or is it mostly with stuff that's related to the kids or work?
I would say 90% is kids or work, but I do have these like pockets of people, like my sorority sisters from college. We've known each other for 20 years. Like, we'll see them Sunday for dinner. We all live here.
So how often do you see them?
So probably once a month.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Twice a month.
Yeah, that's good.
I have a book club of like all the physicians I worked with at Vandy, all the female powerhouse physicians.
So cool.
So that's my book club. We see. But I think it's like, it's less about the seeing. I of course see them, but I can pick up the phone anytime and call one of them and they will pick up. And they know the same thing about me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just how we all develop over time is some drop off. And if they don't understand your life, they drop off. If they do understand your life and they want to pick up, you can come with me. And I will be there to support you. Like if you're down for the count, like I'm going to have bagels delivered to you. Like if you've just had a baby, I'm going to make you a basket. But can I be there for every, like I'm in the car, I'm bored.
Can we chat?
Can we chat? I will not.
Yeah, so,
and if you know that about me, we can be friends
Yeah.
and we are best friends. And so that's where I have a lot of like female power and love, I think, is like people that understand I will be there in the capacity you need me. In the times that you need me, I will not go to the mall with you on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm not that friend. So I think that's where your friendships do grow. And I think you drop off people that maybe don't align with that, or they need
have a more
something
9 to 5.
different. They do.
Than
And that's okay.
what you have.
That's totally okay. But I am lucky that I do have a lot of like just these little pockets of people that are also kind of powerhouses. So they understand. Like even I went to Canada with, she's a stay-at-home mom. And I worked the entire plane ride there, the entire plane ride back. And she said not one word about it. Like, those are my people.
She gets it.
She gets it. Like, those are my people. We're in the Delta Lounge for 2 hours. I'm on the phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Those are my people.
She's not upset by it. She understands this is your life and this is how I fit into your life.
But if you need my full undivided attention, I need you to tell me.
Yeah.
So that I'm anticipating that. And I can like do things beforehand.
But I bet you're the same way.
Afterwards, I'm going to, I've got to pick back up.
Yeah. And you're going to be the best friend to a friend in need in that true time 100%. Of need, right? I feel like I operate the same way. And I have a super serious question for you. When you go to like events, like small talk, I hate it.
I know. Have you taken the Gallup, oh my gosh, Abby, what is it? The Clifton Strengths.
Yes.
Gallup.
Yeah.
And that your woo is very low.
It's been a while. It's not high. My top strength is maximizer.
Okay.
Always.
I forget my 3, but it's like deadly. It's like I'm laser focused.
Yeah.
But yes, that's one. Like my woo is like my very bottom. For those online, like winning others over.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, we do that. Like
you can pull it out when it's relevant. But if you put me in a room where, and it's not about, I don't like other people. That's not what it is. I like other humans. But if you say, do you want to go to this mom's night at Arrington and just chat with all these new people? I'm like,
I would rather you roll me down the hill of Arrington into the bushes.
No, I'd rather sit at home on my patio with my family.
3 friends.
Yeah. Or one person have a really good conversation. Or even do a presentation somewhere.
Right.
But I'm just not into it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting to do. I love a personality test and I love all that. I don't know if you've done the Clifton Strengths with your team. If you
no, but I need to do it again because I've done it several times, but it's been a while since I've done it.
But I think it's also interesting to know everybody else's too.
Yes.
And to know where to put them.
Yeah.
So we do it as you can put people into categories of like, there's strategy, there's behavioral, there's kind of these 4 color categories, and you can see your weaknesses as the team. So like nobody had strategy as their top. Not that we're not good at it.
Right.
It doesn't come naturally.
It's not a top 5.
So we have to set aside time for strategy. And so we made that adjustment in our meetings. We were like, okay, we're not great at strategy. It doesn't come top of mind to us. We have to sit down and carve out time to do that. And then there's your woo, you're winning others. The love to go to the mom's group. Yeah. I don't want to. So that's going to take a lot of my energy. And that's not where I shine. I want to sit and like learn someone's deepest, darkest feelings and fears and thoughts. And I want to like get really in there. And that's the opposite of the woo.
Yeah.
And so you're either good
Me
at wooing,
too.
but if there's a woo event, we have 2 girls on our team, 2 women that are very good at that. We send them.
Yeah.
Because they love that
I love
and they're
that.
going to shine. So that's where I think it's helpful as a business owner to do kind of those interesting, 1, it's just fun, but 2, you can also see someone's mindset. Like if you're being a maximizer, your team can realize like, oh, she's not being hurt. She's not trying to be hurtful or she's not trying to push me aside. This is the way that she's functioning.
Yeah.
And they can understand more about you and it becomes less personal. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because especially with small business, everything is personal.
Everything. And when you can explain why somebody does something the way they do it, you stop taking it personally, right? Maximizer for me is like, I want to get the best and most out of every person that I'm with, every situation we enter, right? Like I hate wasting time and money. Those are 2 things that really drive me crazy to waste. Yeah. And I can be a little bit of a driver because of that. Like, all right, what are we doing about this? How fast is this going to happen? Right. So yeah, it's so interesting. Well, I think about everything we've talked about. Megan, you are so driven and I hear so much of the same way we think about things. And I just love what you're doing. And I love how you pouring back into the community. You have interns that are working on your team. You're investing in the younger generation to educate and empower them, teach them not just how to sell a house, how to run a business. And that's a really special gift to be able to share. And I'm honored to be working with you.
You too, Lyndsay.
Where can listeners find you?
So we have a website, thejernigangroup.com, and that's with a J. But you can also just go to Compass and look up Megan Baker Jernigan. And then we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. We have all the channels. So
everything.
Yep.
And you're based out of Williamson County. You serve. Can you clarify for users what areas you're primarily serve?
Because traffic here is not wild. Like in cities like LA and Chicago, like they'll have like their neighborhood, right? Yeah. So we really, and that's why we have a team. We really will go anywhere an hour outside. So we have we have like our agents that are good with land. We have our agents that are good with our urban kind of core. We do a lot in Wilco just because a few of us are centered down here. And that's kind of a special market, but we'll go anywhere an hour outside the city. So,
and you guys heard her talk about it. Megan's got a team that she puts people in their strength zone, which when you're looking to buy or sell a house, you want a team that's not one person that's going to be trying to be the best at everything, but that really specializes. And that's one thing that makes this team really, really special, not to mention the give back to the community and just really, truly being a part of the community that you're involved in. We'll put all of this in the show notes. Megan, thank you so much for being here, for being my guest today. And for listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in. If you found value in today's episode and you think that you might be able to help somebody else, share it, rate it, review it. Come back again for our next episode. This was actually 51, episode 51.
Way.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So today was episode 51.
Amazing.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. Megan, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Lyndsay.